Another Sunday, another case of the Scaries to start work week. Welcome to the newest edition of the Sunday Scaries, where we have all your gore, lore, and more. Covering all the latest horror happenings, slicing open all the latest horror news, and dissecting it bit by bit, finding all those juicy innards. Pour yourself a nightcap and turn your fright lights while we take you on a tour of terror. Oh, look at us. We're back
What's
here.
happening? What's
the three
happening?
best friends anybody could have here on a Sunday night.
There you go. There you go. Very nice hangover reference. I like it. I like it. I am sorry. I'm just going to say it up front. I just told these guys, I think I'm coming down with a bit of a cold. So if I seem a little low energy tonight, I apologize up front. So I just recorded 2 lists back to back like an hour ago. So that way I would have plenty of me not sounding like total garbage if that's what's coming. But I feel like I'm getting there. So
you're not
there's
allowed
the
to
heads up.
And
okay. All right. Whatever.
You know, it's also looming that Adrian and I will get sick as well, since we engage in 3-way kisses pretty regularly. So we're all swapping germs over here.
I take private flights up north just for that.
Jeez.
We make it count.
Jeez.
I'll make you count.
Yeah, while I'm parsing through the chat here, catching up with everybody, what's going on? I like seeing everybody here. We got Gannon, Erica here, of course, Stephanie, Shot by Shot, Violet. What's going on, everybody? Necro's here, Mama Mayhem, Penelope, Gory Tiger's here. Yeah, everybody's here, man. Everybody's popping in. This is great. I love this. Did just want to start off by saying last night we did a first ever Discord watch along kind of watch party. It was a lot of fun. Erica set all that up for us in the Splattercast Discord. We watched a VHS Beyond. So to conclude, because that was the only movie that Adrian did not watch the last time we were here talking about VHS movies, give your review proper on the Sunday Scaries here, sir, to make up for last week.
VHS Beyond. As a sci-fi fan, I was definitely looking forward to it once I heard the concept. The wraparound, I'm just going to go ahead and say straight up, to me, that just was spoken more of like it just felt like a tasteful cut in between the clips that just factored into the overall vibe. So that's how I try to look at it. The first one with the wait a minute, hold on. So the skydiving one was the second one. The first one was the zombie one, right?
The first one was the stork, and then it was Dream Girl, and then it was the skydiving one.
The
Live and
stork,
Let Dive.
Man.
Mm-hmm.
Live and Let Dive. Well, either way, Live and Let Dive was probably my favorite. I just loved the intensity. I loved just not knowing what was going to happen next. The pitter patter of the little alien running around, man. Well, it was kind of a big alien, to be honest. But you know what? It kind of reminded me of, if anybody plays Lethal Company, it reminds me of that little dog creature. It looks kind of like a goblin that walks through like the hallways and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's I don't necessarily know. I think we ran into one of those because I've only ever played Lethal Company over at your place when I was there a couple months ago. So I'm not an expert there, but I do know what you're talking about. I just don't know what it's called.
Okay. And then, yeah, I see Erica saying the stork was the ugly ass bird. That was such a creepy scene when they're walking into the attic and then they hear like this moaning, this slurping sound. And they point the flashlight at it and it's literally sucking out dude's brain juices and blood and stuff like that, feeding that to the babies, man.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Stork's pretty great. I love that one. That's one that I really want Jordan Downey to like expand upon if they were going to do it. Like, I love the idea of them, like what they call them, the wardens or whatever at the end.
Yeah, I want to see that. The monster hunters.
I know, it's cool. Like that's such a fun idea. It's like it's been done before, but it's one of those things where it's like I just want to see that take on it because like we were in like Adrian and I were actually hanging out in like StreamYard here while the thing was going on. We were watching the movie together, so we were just kind of BSing back and forth. And the thing that I mentioned after that was like that short is so Resident Evil like coded. Like it feels very much like the first Resident Evil, like just the way they're dressed all like cops and stuff, going into just some abandoned house and having these weird zombie monster things.
And even down to the logo, like the Warden logo, kind of looking like the stars, dotted letters on the backs of like their coats and stuff like that later on. I think it's stars, right? Stars, Resident Evil. I'm pretty sure that was like that, man.
talking about like the police academy thing?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Stars. I'm
Big
pretty sure.
Service. That's what it is. That was what Leon was on, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But yeah, that was a super cool concept. Dream Girl. I just kind of remember that one. The build up to it, I actually thought was pretty cool, and the payoff was interesting. It kind of reminds me of the animatronic lady, and I'm pretty sure it was 85. You know, she had like a similar thing. She was like on stage malfunctioning and stuff like that, right?
I remember. I don't remember which one I think that's 85, but I don't remember which one exactly that one is. But I remember the short.
I'm looking at it now. What is it called? God of Death. No, that one was really good though. Here it is. TKNO.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, it reminded me of that one, but it looked like a better, like they did it better on Beyond. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
They like took that concept and revamped it. This kind of had kind of what it felt like a little bit. But going forward, yeah, Live and Let Die. Wait, that's the skydiving thing. Love that. Fur Babies, actually, I want to say you overhyped it, but
Shut up.
Fur Babies it was super cool. It was super cool. You know what I mean? I loved it, and I loved kind of like the goofy like ending to it. You know what I mean? But yeah, Live and Let Die is still my favorite. That one's definitely like either number 2 or 3, though. I'll give you that.
Yeah. And then like it was one of those things where it's like I think like still like even after watching it, I definitely like Dream Girl a lot more. Luke, have you watched VHS Beyond since our first viewing?
No, I never got around to watching that one again, just because I remember it so heavily. So, so you like Dream Girl more than
I did this time? I liked it a little bit more. I think like just I think that first initial viewing and then like the subsequent viewing, I honestly like wasn't paying, like it was just in the background for me. But like on my subsequent viewing of that one, I like enjoyed it. I think like the first time I saw it, like what threw me off was the whole music video shuffle thing, where we just kind of were switching perspectives. But like it just kind of threw me off, I think. But now like seeing it, knowing that's what's there and what's coming, it's like it's a lot more like brutal and like pretty cool than I was giving it previous credit, I would say.
Well, I'll give it a rewatch, and it better knock my socks off, Dylan, because if not, I'm going to be pissed.
I thought it was good. I'm not saying you got to love it, but
it just really threw me off guard whenever the music video part happened. And it, I found that entertaining. I found it funny. It kind of like just fits into that goofiness aspect that a lot of these shorts have, where not a whole lot of them take themselves seriously, and I think that's a great thing.
In this one, 100%. Yeah, it's like that they really, because like that was the thing I was expecting from VHS Halloween, like not to get into spoilers because I know people still need to see it, but like that's the one for me where I was just like, I felt like we'd have a little bit more fun. Like we had one that was really fun, and I'd say the wraparound segment was kind of fun, but like it got really dark in VHS Halloween like a couple of times. It got really upsetting. So it's one of those things where it's like I just felt like Beyond, you're right, is just so much more like chaotic, like funness than it is like scary.
Yeah, and I dug that, man, because it has stuff for more than just like the people looking for that straight scare, or
it embraces the sci-fi nature of it a little bit more.
Exactly. And I love that. And I also really enjoyed, what was it called, the one with the girl doing the documentary Stowaway in the Mojave Desert. Yeah, there we go. That one was really fascinating,
really psychological, like especially because like I don't know if you caught it, I said it in the chat, so man, I don't know if I should say this because I know people still haven't seen it, but basically I like to believe that the thing she interacts with at the beginning and the thing that goes up, like it's all one thing. It's not that they're not two separate entities.
Yeah. And I was looking at it on Wikipedia, and I like how whoever put it in there phrased it, but it just won't let her die. And that's actually the most horrifying thing about it, turns out.
Yep. Yeah, it's super cool. And it's definitely goes deep into body horror. But yeah, definitely I think I think for me, VHS Beyond is gonna remain my top dog out of the franchise. I think after that, I think I like it the most. I think I have the most fun with it, and I think that's what I like about it. Like Halloween is great. I love it. And like I really love a lot of the entries in this entire franchise. But like, yeah, I just think like that one I enjoy every time I sit down. And because I think I like Dream Girl a little bit more this time around, I can now see how that one's a little bit more of like up there for me. It's a little bit more accepted.
Oh yeah. And then I saw Silhouetted ask the question in the chat
Yep.
here.
Yep. This was a good one.
Appreciate the donation, man. Favorite isolated horror film, Pontypool. I haven't seen that one, but does what is it called? 12 Cloverfield Lane count?
10 Cloverfield Lane does count.
10. I always mess up the title, man. I'm like 21 Cloverfield Lane, 22 Cloverfield Lane. Think about Jump Street. But yeah, love that movie.
Oh yeah, I don't think I have to wrestle with Luke on that one. Would you agree that 10 Cloverfield Lane is enough of a horror thriller?
Oh, 100%. I don't think there's any argument on that one. I think it's his like Misery. It falls in line with how Misery does. You know, it's such an isolated psychological element to it, but the way that ties it back to the actual Cloverfield universe. I remember going into that and for some reason having a low expectation, just not knowing how they were going to make that one feel organic. And I absolutely love the ending. I know it doesn't work for some people, but I love the way that they tie that in. Is it happening? Is it not happening? John Goodman. Oh my gosh. I mean, you don't get much better than that. So yeah, that one's definitely a horror film for me.
Yeah. And like, I get how people can be like, you know, oh, I hate the ending, because it's like the movie as a whole kind of ends when she opens the door for most people. Like when she gets away from John Goodman, kills him, whatever, and then goes out there. But like, I totally agree with you. I love the fact that they committed to the premise and just were like, yeah, actually he wasn't fully crazy. There are aliens. It's like, there you go. It's like, oh wow, like let's do it. Like it makes it for a win for me, but I can understand people kind of being like, now they feel like it's gone a bridge too far because they liked the contained realistic thriller, kind of like psychological horror of the whole thing.
But you know, I for me, like, I understand that it might not work for people because tonally it might be a little bit different, but I think that adds to it. Would have been a layup for him just to be psychologically, you know, insane, where it's just like, there's nothing out there. But it's like to be like, no, this guy was telling the truth. There is something actually up here, and we never believed him. That adds in a completely different element. So it's like I can see it tonally not being cohesive for people, but it's wild that doesn't work for a lot of people because it's like it's such a different avenue to go down rather than just being like he was crazy.
Yeah. Luke,
I agree with that.
What do you got there, sir? What do you got for isolated horror?
I mean, if we're gonna go like of all time, I mean, The Shining. It's
okay.
I can't go against it. It's my favorite horror movie of all time. So if we're talking about it, it's like it's got to be The Shining.
It's perfect. I mean, it is one of those ones where it's like it is just like, I know, like for Adrian and I, we played a lot of Far Cry 3 growing up, and like that was like our game for a while there, and like the whole sentiment that Voss goes on about how, like, you know, doing the same thing over and over again, and how it's like that's just creates like what is that, madness, or what does he say?
Insanity, yeah.
Definition of insanity. So it's like that is like that film encapsulates that perfectly. I feel like just the whole everything from the typewriter to just the way the movie is shot, where it's like that low angle perspective pulled back as you're just watching people walk around the hotel over and over again. It's just like everybody's just always in these long ass fucking hallways, and it's just like it just drives you crazy after a while.
And I think, you know, when we talk about isolated horror, I'm obviously biased, but I think that isolated horror stories since The Shining, that's what a lot of films strive to be in terms of being able to have that character development, just being able to feel so closed in, you know, with the snowstorm outside and just that element of going stir crazy. So many great performances, just a great story in general. And I think that was a film very early on as a child. I remember one of the first ones scaring me. It was like the guy in the bear suit or whatever the hell. Didn't know the context of it at the time, and just that scene of looking at, out through the doorway freaked me out. I remember that vividly, and I think that's why that film is so stuck with me so often throughout my horror experience. It's just like it has a solid foundation. It is so influential in a lot of horror stories and just filmmakers in general.
Yeah. I'm also going to be extremely boring because that's Luke's favorite is The Shining. My all-time favorite film. Also, I guess I just realized this now. Both deal with isolation.
Yep.
The Thing. John Carpenter's The Thing, 1985. I think it's a perfect movie through and through. I love watching that movie because, well, it's like I was thinking this over the other day actually while I was driving down to get Atticus his costume. Went to go down to Canton to the Spirit Halloween down there. I know a couple people I think who pop up in our comments know about that area. But I was driving down there and I was just pondering The Thing, whatever. And I was like, I think my favorite part about that movie is that the first 100 times I watch it, I'm a fan of the movie and I'm a fan of the story and how it's like it's tricking you into who's infected, who's not, the whole crazy paranoia of it. But then it's like being somebody who like really loves movies, wants to make movies. I love studying the making of and the behind the scenes of that movie so much. And that's why it's like, I think probably my favorite movie of all time. Like it's getting there because like I love to just study all of it, like all the interviews, all of everything about the making of that movie and just what they were going through when they thought about it and how they were going to like recontextualize the 1950s movie. Like it's just, I think it's just like a perfect movie in my opinion. And yeah, it's isolated horror. Absolutely.
I think it's perfect to kind of show the diversity of isolated horror because, John Carpenter's Thing is easily top 5. It might just be my number 2 in terms of my favorite horror movies of all time. But when you look at it in comparison to The Shining, the elements are so different where it's like, in The Shining, it's this deep dive into psychological horror with this family being isolated, going stir crazy. And when you look at the John Carpenter's The Thing, where it's so heavy in that influence of science fiction, a creature feature at times, a lot of the time, in this kind of paranoia of, are you infected? Am I infected and don't even know it? And I love those aspects of it because it's such a variety of what we can get with those stories. So I love the idea of isolation. I think when we talk about horror, probably isolation is probably, if you want to call it a subgenre, is probably one of, if not my favorite subgenre, just because of the variety of it. And when you really think of a lot of different horror stories, a lot of them deal with isolation in some aspect, and then they kind of just intertwine some other horror element in there as well.
Yeah, and I did want to highlight the one that Silhouetted had here is Pontypool. I think I'm the only one in the group here who's seen this.
Yes.
Very good. I don't want to spoil anything because it's one of those movies that, like, I think the less you know, the better. But just knowing that it's isolationist horror, all that, it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, that's all I would like to give you. But like, definitely, if you want a hint towards what we're dealing with, like Gracie's comment here is like perfectly encapsulates the kind of like stunning silence kind of horror we're dealing with out of this one. That's all I want to say. But it's great. I also pulled up, just because I'm stupid and can't think of a bunch of movies on my own, a list of isolated horror movies just so we can get a smattering of it. Like Dog Soldiers, another one that we love, considered isolation horror. We have Don't Breathe, another one that's pretty good because they're in that rundown neighborhood. Misery, you already brought that up with 10 Cloverfield Lane also on this list. Evil Dead,
Yeah,
technically isolation horror. So it's like one of those things. And it's like, if you can go to basically any of those movies, maybe not Army of Darkness as much, but I guess isolated from his time. Like, I don't know. There's a lot there, but Alien is another great one. Wreck, it could be considered that. I think Hush. There's a lot of good ones that I think are in there. So definitely love the question. Thank you, Silhouetted. And then, of course, in case everybody missed it, nobody saw it, we did talk about it yesterday. Yesterday was Luke's birthday. So happy birthday, Luke.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Luke.
Did you guys sing to me while I was not there on the...
No, we basically just were like, yeah, Luke's not going to be here because it's his birthday.
Oh, well, that's slightly
and then
overwhelming, but whatever.
everybody said, good. I don't want him here.
Typical.
Yeah.
Yep.
Typical.
No.
Not just you fellas. I know how it is.
No, we were hanging out. It was cool. But you'll have to catch the next one we'll do. It was a lot of fun. It was a good time. Very relaxing. I thought it was going to be more like, because I was messaging Erica beforehand. I was like, man, I like really think like I'm just gonna have to sit here and do like a full-blown commentary, but Adrian's never seen the movie. And it's one of those things where it's like I don't want to like just talk his ear off the whole time. Like there's going to be moments I want him to just watch the movie, but I also have to like interact with everybody. And then she basically was just like, no, like we could just literally do the chat and just all watch the movie. Perfect. Got to sit there. We were already in like a stream together, so it was just one of those things where it's like we got to like appropriately talk. I was quiet when I needed to be quiet so he could take in the craziness of some of these, and I didn't give anything away.
Yeah, it was nice, man. I really enjoyed it, so I'm definitely going to be at the next one. That's for sure.
Yeah, we'll have to certainly set one up. Definitely before October's over with. I know Dylan and I were discussing maybe something Halloween centric to kind of really get in the Halloween spirit. So maybe we'll figure one out and put it on there because I'd love to partake in a little watch along.
Yeah, it was good.
I'm a voyeur at heart, so
nah, it's really low pressure too, because like it's all just sitting right there. So it's like we could literally, like, if I had signed in on my phone, I could have probably like just been messaging on there, and like if I had to do something, walk away. It's not a big deal. It's great because, like I said, I definitely do want to do some commentaries though. I think if we do that, we should do them kind of like Splattercast Cinema was, where it's like have a guest, all of us, whether Adrian wants to join us or not, we all four of us just sitting here and just watch a movie, and then we just cut out the best parts and the funniest bits. Like I love videos like that, so I feel like we could have fun with it.
I'm always down. We'll have to figure out a film, something. I don't know. Let's pick a horrible B movie. That'll be great.
We should vote on like what the greatest horror movie is of all time, and then watch that one.
Watch the opposite of that.
Yeah, actually the most obscure horror movie of all time, something nobody's seen. Like, no, that's actually a bad idea.
Yeah. I want to do something completely awkward. We don't know how to feel when it's a group of us.
I got some awkward movies. I've been like basically like putting together a couple of different lists. One of them that I really want to get back to is I'm doing kind of a spin on the kind of the weird, disturbing movie list I did a few like months ago, probably better part of a year ago, where I was just talking about really weird, fucking just jacked up movies that aren't like grossly disturbing, but are just like strange, like Saint Bernard and stuff like that, and The Greasy Strangler. And it's like I really want to do another one of those because like sometimes I just get in the mood to watch something just that's just out there, and like I want to watch that shit.
Absolutely, I'm all down. And thank you for the birthday wishes. I really appreciate it. I was watching my daughter yesterday for the most part, but today, right before the stream, I went over to my mom's house and we had some cake and stuff. And I did get a little gift. I'll maybe toward the end of the stream just remind me, and I'll go grab it and I can show it off.
Hell yeah, awesome! I'm excited to see. Horror related.
Oh, of course.
I figured. All right,
I'm sure it's something that I think we talked about on the stream a couple weeks ago. Maybe it was either on the stream or it was prior to actually streaming or after. I'm not sure, but we definitely talked about it.
All right. Well, I'm definitely curious because I also
you'll remember when you see it.
I got you something, and I am hoping that it's not what I think it is, so that way we're good. But it's cool. Let's see. Oh wait, no, this is great. Completely unrelated to the stream, but Marcus emotes stickers Discord. Hell yeah. Erica and I found out that we both love Marcus. You guys know Marcus from TikTok and the streams.
Marcus, huh? No, don't know.
Marcus is the greatest thing
in the movie last night.
Yeah, dead ass, dude. I'll have to show you Marcus.
Seriously, Luke. Marcus in VHS Beyond, man.
He's this little like. I think he's a worm, or what is he? He's supposed to be like an
abomination. It's like I almost want to say crawfish. Now I'm googling what a crawfish looks like. So
that's not what he looks
like.
No,
not at all. Not at all. I don't know. He's like fat in the middle, skinny up top, and he's like spider-like.
He's got these eyes.
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Erica's. Eyes. Yeah, I was right. He's a worm.
Wait a second. Wait. I've seen Marcus on something. Right? Is
New Orleans? Yeah, he's got a lot of stuff. There's the big one going around right now is oh god, what I gotta get the verbiage right. But he's been a thing for a little bit now, like for probably better part of a year.
I didn't know this gentleman's name was Marcus, but
Mhm.
I did watch. I stumbled upon a couple of videos with Marcus on there, and I thought they were hilarious. I didn't know this was like a big thing on TikTok, though.
Oh yeah, no, he's the best. I love him so much. He's a goofball. And Erica had stickers of him. She put one in there, and I was like, we need those. And I don't care if it's not horror. It's like he's special. He gets
He's
a
got a
pass.
rockin' swimmer's bod, if I do say so myself. He's like Michael Phelps, slender.
It reminds me of the time my dad broke out the
Robert
Speedo at the public swimming place.
Oh,
Jesus Christ, brother.
Yeah, my dad's. Yeah,
you gotta let
he's up
loose
there.
sometimes.
He's up there.
Jeez. But yeah, I absolutely adore that. It was a good time. I'm glad we all had fun with it. We'll definitely be playing another one. Of course, I'd like to maybe do like maybe 2 more for October at least.
I'm down.
Like I really want to do some of those. Like I really just want to get like some fun stuff. Like I know we talked about it off air. Erica, we also talked about it where it's like we're kind of trying to figure out like maybe getting like a list. I was thinking like if we could each nominate a couple of movies and then just like I'll put it in like a big like wheel, we'll spin it on like on one of the next Sunday Scaries, and then like whatever it lands on, that'll be the watch party movie.
Yeah, what kind of topic are we thinking? Halloween style, you mean? Or
I'm thinking, I want to leave it open.
Erotic
obviously, I'd love it to be a little bit more festive, I guess I could say. Like, we could go for like a Halloween 4, a trick or treat, kind of stuff like that. But like, I'm willing to leave it open. The only thing I ask is that it's not this one or like anything else I talk about in the disturbing lists. I'm already like deep into that right now with the video. I don't need any extra. I'm good.
No. Wouldn't it be funny, everyone, if we just did
I won't watch it.
watch along and it's the one that breaks Dylan officially and we can just all witness it?
Because see, I don't want to like I'm already like working on a special video for it where I'm gonna have to revisit everything that I've covered, like just slightly. I'm not gonna watch them all again, but I'm gonna have to like at least get reacquainted with some of the worst stuff and then kind of talk about it. So it's like one of those things where I've been basically going through getting copies of all the movies again and like slowly taking notes on what I want to cover and what I think would be fun for it. So I have been in the grossness again and I don't like it. So if we could stay very positive and festive, I would appreciate it. But if you guys want to ruin me, I'll take it. I am here but a clown, a jester for your entertainment.
Oh, wonderful. I love ruining you, Dylan. But if we're talking Halloween films, this will surprise not Dylan at all. But
absolutely not.
I was just I made my wife watch Idle Hands for the first time, and what a great Halloween film that is.
It is a great movie. I love Adrian. You have probably not seen Idle Hands. Oh, your sound's off again.
Idle Hands.
Devin Sawa, Jessica Alba, Seth Green.
It's about a possessed hand.
Idle Hands.
Probably not. I think this would be one that I don't think you've seen.
Definitely not.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Brandon, I will say no, that doesn't count. We're okay. I would allow that just because it's Halloween. It's I know they're a little harder, but it's like I don't mind those ones. I'm more or less what Stephanie and Erica proposed. We're not going for that. We're not watching Trauma or Wedding Trough. I will not. No, we're not doing a headless watch party either.
What's wrong with Headless?
Oh, come on. Even Gannon. Headless is just it's a good. I don't even know how to. I'm not going to get into it. Headless is messed up.
Necro interest. Philia. I don't know what I'm allowed to say.
We're not watching Atroz Violet. No.
Oh, man. That's a good one.
Did you watch that one?
I ended up watching it, yeah.
That one's...
I had some time for you. I said, let's watch something light.
What the hell's wrong with you? Oh, God. See, this one would be great. This would be fantastic. Dead Alive, Brain Dead, Peter Jackson. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. I'm good with that. Terrifier, you guys know I'm good with that. I'm good with Halloween. I'm good with all that. I'm just saying, like, just no obscure, disturbing shit, please. Anyway, I think we should probably dive a little bit into the news here because we got a couple of fun topics. I'd really do want to dive in deep on at least two of them, because there's two big ones that I actually after looking into it, after you recommended it or put it in there, I have a lot more to say about it. So I'm very interested. But the first one's very obvious. Luke, take us away.
Well, we are talking Predator Badlands. It's making headlines once again as the official rating for the film itself coming out November 7th is PG-13. And it sounds like a lot of people were not happy about this one. I know we had some issues with the initial design of the Yautja in that. And now we're getting into this issue with the PG-13 rating. But Dylan, you and I have talked about this. We've even done a video on it. So
we did, and it's unreleased. It got stacked up with the list, and then another review that we got that we had some trouble with a screener. I guess I could just say the movie was vicious. We have to record that. That'll probably be out tomorrow or Tuesday for you guys. But this one was also just like it. One of those things we sat down, thought we had some stuff to say, did a fun bit, but like had way too much to say. It's like 40 minutes. And I do feel like at some points we were spinning our tires there, just kind of going back and forth a little bit. Because it's just like, I don't understand what people are misreading about this exact like reasoning for this movie getting a PG-13 and why this is such a huge turnoff. I don't get it.
Yeah, because, it makes sense. And when you really think about it, as being on a completely foreign planet that is not Earth and dealing with beings that are predators going to be hunting that are not human. So when you're looking at blood and the MPAA rating there's going to be no red human blood in there. There's an article discussing this. And, the filmmakers, the creators behind it saying, yeah, we're making a film that we wanted to make. And we feel they're quoted saying this is a film where it's going to be PG-13, but they want it to feel like it's an R-rated film. So they mentioned there's going to be a lot of gruesome elements to it. So it just happened to be nature of the beast that there's no human beings in here. So of course it's going to fall in line with this PG-13 rating.
Yeah. And I know Brandon and I have had a couple of conversations about this week. Cause he's definitely, right to have these reservations. Now, if I'm getting off my prestigious high horse here and saying I get it, I do understand the initial jerk reaction of seeing a notoriously R-rated franchise getting a PG-13 entry, but like I think the whole thing is very self-explanatory, and it just like it's laid out there for you in the article. There are no human beings in this movie. There aren't, and the MPAA is such an archaic, ancient, stick to their guns kind of third party industry that their whole thing is like they just are very rigid in their standards. And so this movie being PG-13, it's almost like a godsend in my opinion, because I think that what this is going to do is open the door to hopefully showing some people who, may have been too young to go see it if it was R-rated, now can go see it and now say like, holy crap, this is really cool. I love like all this lore. I want to go back and watch the old ones. By the time we get another one in theaters, and it will be R-rated, I promise you it will be, they will be old enough to go see it. And you just made a whole generation of kids Predator fans. Like, I think it's just almost like a happy accident. Cause like, it's literally just set out that they didn't go in there saying like, oh, it's gonna be a PG-13. They thought maybe just because of the style of story it is, and there not being any blood, but you never know what it's gonna be. You never know what these people are gonna say. It's like we've heard the MPAA like criticize and scrutinize films for a litany of goofy reasons, but this time they were just like, nope, no blood. All right, I'm cool with it. PG-13.
Yeah, especially when you're diving into such a heavy sci-fi element here with these big creatures. I mean, we've seen them in the trailer that look like nothing on Earth, or that you can even draw a parallel to anything that may be on Earth, where it's very easy to get lost in that fiction portion of the science fiction elements, because these things are otherworldly. It's not even going to feel like anything you can resonate with or anything that you could be terrified by on Earth. So nothing's really going to be able to draw those parallels of real life violence. I think you're going to get lost in those elements of science fiction and really feel like you're just on a different planet entirely. So for me, that PG-13 rating doesn't really make me hesitant in the film. I think the only portion of this that I could see more so Predator fans that have been along for this ride for so long is if the film just feels so expansive. It honestly does feel like, in the realm of a Marvel film or a Star Wars film, where it's like we're dealing with something completely different than what we've seen in the Predator franchise. When you even look at Predators and we're on a different planet, a gaming preserve, and we have the plants that are otherworldly creatures. Some creatures pop up there as well. But at the base of that film, it's a very much contained film where it feels like the original Predator, just a bunch of people out in the woods. They wanted to make it feel like that. Where this one, we're dealing with a Yautja. That's our main character. There's a completely different language in this film. There are no human elements other than the synth that we see, but at the end of the day, that's really not a human being. And this just feels way bigger. So that's the only thing I could see more Predator fans saying, I don't know if this one feels in line with the rest of the franchise, because I think it's going to feel a bit bigger. That's their intent here. I'm excited to start seeing these stories. I mean, seeing the comic books from the 90s and never really taking full advantage of the lore. And we just had Killer of Killers, which was a fun ride to really take advantage of the different time periods. So this one I'm really excited about, but I could see an argument here being like, this one just doesn't feel like what we've seen in the past.
And I think that's, that's fair. I'll give you that. But like, it also is one of those things to me where it's like, if that's the case, then the movie was never going to appeal to you in the first place. If that was the issue, it's like the PG-13 thing is just, I guess to you, to that person, it's just more like, I guess, fuel to the fire. But like for me, it's one of those things where it's like, I think that nothing that I think Dan Trachtenberg has done, and I know you feel the same way about this, but like nothing Dan Trachtenberg has done has ever like signaled that he doesn't understand this franchise, that he doesn't understand the sensitivity of the material. And if you look at Prey is a hard R. Prey is not dancing around, patting you on the ass, giving you a couple of blood sprays on a tree. He's decapitating people with shields. He's literally like shooting them with darts, knocking them off things, gutting people, ripping out their spines in front of us. Like, we see it all. If you watch Killer of Killers, extremely R-rated, very gory, gore basically wherever they could spare it. This being PG-13, I promise you, reflects nothing on the future trajectory of this franchise. This is a fluke, and I think that they will use this to capitalize on it, because you'll get more money in the seats, you'll get younger audiences in there, more audience members can see the film. And at best, what this is going to do is it's going to encourage them to do more, out there, like in space, more like deeper stories, where it's like, as long as this stays as intense and as harsh and as gory, and they can kind of get away with it, but it's just Predator gore or it's just other alien gore, I'm fine with that. I think that that's perfectly cool, because it's a side of this franchise that like fans like myself and Luke have been begging to see for decades.
And that saying of playing chess instead of checkers, and that's what Dan Trachtenberg, at least for my take, he's playing chess. He's not playing checkers here, where he already has this track record. You talk about Prey, you talk about Killer of Killers. He's pleased the Predator fan base that has been wanting this franchise to get back on track. I can say without a doubt, those two films have gotten this franchise back on track and us excited to see more. And he's shown us he's not afraid to have that R rating. He doubles down on the gore when it's needed and when the story calls for it. Both those stories, Prey, Killer of Killers, you needed human violence in that. That's the nature of the beast. That's the story he wanted to tell. Now, looking at Predator Badlands, I don't think it was just a happy accident that we fell into PG-13. I think it's a smart play. I think we've pleased the core audience with Predator, saying this is what we can do. Now let's start getting a new audience, like Dylan had said, a younger audience that maybe never experienced this, maybe never went on Hulu to check out those rated R films because they don't have an interest in Predator. But then you see this, what feels like a Star Wars, feels like a Marvel film, and it's this big journey. It's this big expansive universe. You see these huge monsters. It feels like, Jurassic World in a sense, where it's like you can
Luke,
go there
you're
and
selling this all wrong. Say Lord of the Rings, please.
Lord of the Rings.
You're going to make everybody mad with those franchises. They're all controversies.
Well, I'm talking about for a younger audience. I'm not talking for.
I'm just kidding.
So it's, when you look at it, I think getting a younger audience in here to say, oh, well, let me really get on board with this franchise. I think that's what he's doing here. And I think it makes perfect sense to add to your fan base, and you've already pleased the initial fan base. So it really does make sense that we're going to go PG-13 back in the theater. Now, would I love to see a full rated R film that Prey? I mean, I think they're going to be showing that along with Predator Badlands. I think I saw an article there.
Double features. Yep.
I think that would be a lot of fun, but so I think we'll get a rated R eventually, but I think it's smart to have it back in the theater, saying a younger audience can go see this. They can have that theatrical experience, because I think those are things that are going to be core memories for a younger audience. So then they can reminisce. My experience with Predator was the VHS, owning the VHS of Predator and just continuously watching that. I never got to go see that stuff in the theater as a young kid. And unfortunately, my first experience was the Predator and theatrical experience with that, which was absolutely horrible. But
did you not see AVP?
Not in theaters, no.
Wow. Okay.
I was not a theater kid. I've only seen
true.
Terminator 3, and I did not go see something for a very long time after that. So, I think, this will be a lot of fun for a younger audience and could get them on board for those core memories.
No, I agree. And I think, I know Brandon said that part kind of scares him a little bit. Or frustrates him. See, the young thing is frustrating because they also did this with Black Christmas 2019 because of a younger audience. I can safely say that I don't think that was the problem with Black Christmas 2019, my friend. I think that movie was troubled from day one. It clearly wanted to do something radically different with the Black Christmas story, and then also I think it just played to the lowest common denominator, is we're just going to hit you with every single trope, and we're just going to hit you with really hard with social messaging and all this stuff, which is I usually am a huge defender of that, because I think it's done subtly and artfully in a lot of movies, but that's one of those things where it's you're not doing anything meaningful. You're making, you're picking at the low hanging fruit. It's a lot of the same issue I have with a lot of the Blumhouse stuff. Honestly, it's a lot of it does feel like a low hanging fruit attempt and effort, especially with films again, Megan 2.0. That was PG-13, wasn't it? Or was that R?
Megan 2.0, I believe, was PG-13, but that film I blocked out of my head for a very long time.
Exactly, yeah, because the first one was R, and then went to
I
PG-13.
can't see that one being rated R after. Yeah, it's PG-13.
Yeah, and it's I think that's another one where it's I understand hesitation for that, but I think that's not what we're dealing with here. We're dealing with a different set of circumstances, and I think it was important and it was a good move for them to come out with that article and basically just state this is what we got, this is how it happened, this is our intention, because I'm dead ass. I think that this feels like we're going to have a couple, and I think realistically, I know I can win some people over with this one. If you guys want us to get back to Alien versus Predator in a canonical sense of rocking it up with Romulus timeline and this, we got to start going down some kind of exploring other avenues other than Earth kind of thing. Now, I'm not saying that I don't want to see in AVP an R-rated AVP. I absolutely do. I want to see Colonial Marines versus Predators versus aliens. I want it to be a bloodbath and a green gooey acid bloodbath as well. I want all of it. But I don't think that it's the end of the world that this movie is PG-13. I really think it's a special set of concerns.
Absolutely. I think it's prepping for us to get to something like Alien versus Predator. So I think this is the beauty of the Predator franchise. I think this is a beauty of having Dan Trachtenberg in charge and really kind of steering the ship, is that he's going to give us a grab bag. He knows the lore. He's going to take that lore and push it to its full potential. I think that's what Predator Badlands is, honestly, is we can get away with the PG-13. So this is a perfect installment to bring back to the theater and really kind of bridge Alien and Predator so it doesn't feel less organic when that does happen. Like, you bring that idea up, Dylan, it's like I almost have the concept of the original Predator on a completely different planet, but just almost feel like predators in a sense, and then have aliens and predators in there as well. So, you can really do something really interesting. And I think this is kind of, we've already started that journey, but I think this is solidifying that journey to really start bridging that gap of what we're going to be seeing in the next few years, because Alien Romulus already 2 announced, and we just closed up Alien Earth, the first season there. So we're really pushing those stories, and now we're getting even more Predator content. So both these franchises are being restored to what we are hoping they would be. Honestly, it was probably a dream, 10 years ago, to think we'd be on this kind of trajectory with both these franchises and seeing them kind of converge.
Yeah,
Never
that
thought it was
wasn't
going to happen.
It was like, if you think about it, like the first AVP was in a very similar set of circumstances to Freddy versus Jason, where it's like that had been talked about for literal, I think, since the 80s was when they started talking about AVP. And then it's like they ran it through the 90s. They put it in a video game. They put it in comic books. They did everything but give it a movie. And then by the time they were like, all right, fuck it, it's 2003, let's do it, the franchises were in such a disarray at that point. Like, you hadn't had a Predator movie since, God, Predator 2?
Yeah, that was it.
Holy shit. That's insane to think.
AVP, they just did to do it. Again,
exactly. It was completely separate timeline for a long time.
Such a huge discourse around that time online, because I was a part of it, of whatever versus whatever. Once Freddy versus Jason came out, everyone was eager to see what's the next versus film. And I think that kind of, I don't even know what you want to call it, fad at the time was really short-lived, because we didn't really see that. There was always Freddy versus Jason versus Ash was another one that
they had
those
comic books too.
Yeah, and it got everyone talking, and it was like they just threw AVP up there to say we're going to do it. Hopefully it's going to produce at the box office. There wasn't really too much thought behind it, and you can tell that in the films themselves, which I think the first AVP's fairly enjoyable, especially being just able to see those creatures on screen, which I think was just what they wanted to do. It's like, let's just plaster them up there. We don't really need a expansive story here. Just find a way to tie this in and just have them fight each other. And
it works for that. I think the first one is fun, and I grew up with it. I'll die on that hill. It's the same way I feel about like Godzilla 98. Like, I grew up with it. I love it. It's fun. It's a part of my Predator Alien like love as I grew up. It was a stepping stone.
AVP was like that movie that I always heard about when I was younger that just sounded so badass and so edgy and just cool. And, my family would never let me look at anything like that. But I had this one friend in second grade. He's like, you ever heard of this? I was like, no. He put it on, and yeah, man. I barely remember it, but at the same time, I remember so much of it. I remember getting like little AVP comics at Marks and stuff like that too.
Yeah, I bought some too. Yeah,
it was just so cool, man. It was a whole. I felt that trend, man. I felt that trend. I was just gonna co-sign what Luke was saying.
And that's what I'm saying. It's like I feel like people forgot, and it's like, I'm not calling you out, Brandon, but it's like when people like sneer at the idea of this being PG-13, the franchise came back to R. Like, it's not like this is we if you include them in this timeline, which honestly you have to, it's like they went to PG-13 and then they went back to R-rated movies. It's like they've done this before. And again, this is extremely special set of circumstances. Like, I mean, I think that it's like this is this is not something that they, even if they, I know they want to church it up and stuff, but in my heart of hearts, I believe they made the movie they wanted to make. And I know he said that in that one piece of the article. He says he made the movie he wanted to make, and it just so happened to be PG-13. He had an inkling that it might get that just because there was no blood and the kind of story they're optioning, where it is very much, we are setting up the future of this universe. We are going to show you how big the Predator universe gets. That, I'm so excited for that. How could you not be as a Predator fan? Like, it's going to be incredible. And we might actually get, like Davey, I think is saying here, the 90s style, toy line Predator, Alien versus Predator kind of stuff. This is going to set that up. I love it.
And that's where it's like, very rarely do you get a franchise where you have the potential to do hard R's because you're dealing with human beings, but then you can almost take these sidebar adventures where we're on a completely different planet. It's like you can kill probably 40 xenomorphs and have them all horribly dissected, and it's probably still going to be PG-13 because it's not human red blood. So it's like you can really get aggressive with it. But if you're not killing humans, you can just pretty much do anything you want. So I think you get this variety pack with Predator, and you don't get that with a lot of franchises. You can't do that with like a Friday 13th or a Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not going to feel organic being PG-13. You don't have that kind of story that you can tell. Where Predator, even Alien, you would have that ability to tell a different kind of story because they are on other planets. They are dealing with other creatures entirely. So I like this idea. I think that really shows the expansiveness of the potential of the franchise. And I think they're going to take full advantage of it, where it's like, we're going to have hard R's, certainly, and then we're going to go on and do these PG-13 films because we're going to do something like Predator Badlands in the future and just tell these stories that there are no human beings. There might be synths, but there are no actual human beings in it.
Yeah, and one of the things I wanted to mention that somebody had brought up, I know some people might hate that I watch this guy, but I've been watching him for decades, but like, not decades, years. But John Campea, on his show, they were talking about this, and I guess, I think it was Robert Meyer Burnett said something about one of his friends has already seen a cut of the new Avatar, and he used that as an example to show it's like, they say the new Avatar goes pretty hard. Like it's going a little harder than the previous two, which, I mean, if you look at it, it's not necessarily like they're holding back. Like in the last movie, like, I guess if I stay non-specific, it's not really spoilers. There's scenes where they're just full blown executing Na'vi in front of people, like blowing their brains out. And it's like, they're not hiding it. So it's kind of like they really do truly see non-human entities as like, not, that ain't nothing but a thing. It's just a CGI creation. I don't care. You can literally mutilate them on screen. It does not matter. It's like that's kind of why I say it's like this archaic system of rating films and stuff. They don't even like, I have many other issues with them, but like, this is just another reason, another nail in the coffin of why it's like this whole thing is just, it makes no sense. It's like it's all just it's literally performative, like I think the MPAA is, because it's like at the end of the day, I think you have to be an informed watcher, which, okay, I guess fairly not many people are, but like you have to be an informed viewer of what you're going to consume. I just feel like that's what it is. Like if you're watching a movie with your kids and you're looking at the rating, or you're looking at the back and it describes like, hey, there's a bunch of nudity and a bunch of sex and a bunch of people cutting each other up and blah, blah, blah. Probably not the best time to watch that one with the kiddos. You know what I'm saying? That's just like, I feel like we need to have a little bit more self-reliance on ourselves. We don't need boards and structures saying like, hey, this is PG-13, this is rated R, and that affects how people view a film.
I want to do, as a creative, I want to do a retelling of the film Grotesque, as the doctor is still a human being, but the two subjects are just Yautjas. Yeah.
No.
And it's just like green blood everywhere. And it's like, hey, it's a PG-13 film.
Yeah. And I think like overall, I think like, and are you saying like they'll only put hard R's on Hulu? I don't think that's going to be the case, because Romulus was R-rated.
Yeah.
I think that'll continue. I think like it's like everybody agrees that Prey should have been in theaters. That's why Romulus went to theaters when it did. So it's one of those things where it's like, it's just happenstance here. I don't think it's a death mark for the franchise.
I think, again, Predator being back into the theater, being its first run back into the theater.
Oh, yeah.
After 7 years, I think, and being almost a dead franchise prior to Prey, and no one really expecting anything. You want this franchise to produce. I think a lot of Predator fans, whether they feel negative about this, are probably going to go out of blatant curiosity just to check this one out. I mean, it's Predator back on the big screen. So I think maybe you won't get all the Predator fans in terms of like, okay, I don't like the way Predator looks. I don't like it being PG-13. I think there's a group of that exists. But I think overall, you're going to at least grab some of the Predator fan base because they're very loyal and they really just want to see how the story plays out. And again, having Dan Trachtenberg attached is not a bad thing either. So I think you're going to grab a group of that, but then you're also going to get casual people that are going to the theater saying, what kind of big film do I want to see? Or I already saw the trailer for this. My kid loves the idea of it, just wants to go in and see this wild film, and they're going to produce some box office dollars. So I think you're kind of grabbing both audiences there, that if this was an R, that, it's science fiction. Sometimes that could be a hard grab for people if they're not already established in this lore, and you're not going to take your kid to go see it. So garnering an audience back, I think this is a smart play, and I think we're going to see R-rated Predator films back in the theater. I just don't think you're starting off your theatrical run with the Predator franchise again, getting the audience there. I don't think you're starting off with an R. I think you're going to do PG-13, get an audience back, and then maybe the next film after this could be a rated R Predator film.
Oh, absolutely. And I totally know that, Brandon, you're going to be fair about it. I'm not worried about that at all. You're very honest about your opinions on movies, clearly. I mean, like half the movies that you like cite enjoying, we're always like, what? I don't even understand. Like, it's like some of that, but like, hey, that's the beauty of it. It's like everybody's got different opinions and stuff. It's just, I think if anything has shined through, I have two great passions right now, and that is my loathe and hate for the MPAA, and my love and just overall cherishment of the Predator and Alien franchise. So sue me. I'm a little passionate about it. Okay. I get a little sensitive and in my feelings when people are talking bad about my Predators and my Aliens.
Well, they've been disenfranchised for so long now.
Yeah, I can't lie.
They've been beaten up.
They've been on some bad times, some rough times, especially with like Shane Black. What a letdown.
I'll tell you what, that guy better stay away from this franchise.
Yeah, just go back to making all his make another Nice Guys or Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. You got that. You know what you're doing, brother.
I should have did let's have him direct. He could step in this franchise if he does a buddy cop with a xenomorph and a Yautja. Let's see how that works.
Let's do it. There we go.
They're
It'll be like
Tango
and Cash, but with a xenomorph and a Yautja.
There you go. They learned to love.
Mm-hmm. I am down. I love it. But why don't we move into the next story? Same franchises. Take it away.
Yeah. Well, we're talking Alien now. A little more Alien than Predator this time around. But over New York Comic Con that's taking place, Sigourney Weaver mentioned that she had talked to her buddy Walter Hill, who has a script that, it's 50 pages, not a full script yet, but has some intriguing ideas for the Ellen Ripley character. And she always said that in order to come back to the franchise, she would have to see a script that made her say, "Ooh, I have to do this." And about a year ago, she was interviewed, and there hadn't been such a script yet. But now, looks like things have changed. This one is intriguing her. She even went to say she may have to hop in there and help him figure out where the story does go, because she really does like the hook that they're dealing with here. So we could be seeing Ellen Ripley in the future here. And as we're talking about the variety of this franchise, Predator and Alien, and all these different stories going on, Alien Earth, Alien Romulus, sequel to Alien Romulus coming out, they're really intriguing idea of bringing so many different stories to one franchise. We could easily see Ellen Ripley plugged back in here and get some closure with that character.
No,
No, you done?
I don't want it.
All
I
right, moving
don't
on.
want it. I just no. I did just also want to touch on this. You're good, Brandon. I completely get it. Like you're
Oh, Brandon, you're not aggressive at all.
no, we are both passionate about this franchise. I understand the defensiveness from you, but and the maybe over anger and over explanative, just needing to like get my piece out about it. So you're good. Healthy debate. That's all we look for. Oh hell yeah,
You're not.
Violet's
Yes,
like God.
absolutely.
Please
Double
let me have
down
a
on this.
I love the eyeball alien from Alien Earth.
My absolute favorite. What a lore and concept to
What
that
was that?
eyeball.
Was it like the ocular? What did they call that thing? Did
You
they
know,
ever
I'm
give it
not
its
even
name?
sure. I'm not sure, but like I love that when you have it hooked up to the machine or whatever, and they're like showing all the different brain waves, and they're like, this thing is like highly intelligent. And my gosh, I had
Spooky. It
not.
made it so much scarier.
I know
Like,
it's like this little thing just crawling around, and how it just like implants right there in your eye socket, and it's like, what a great idea for a creature. It's basic, makes so much sense. Can't believe it. We haven't seen anything like this on screen until right now, but I want more of it. I
feels
need it.
Lovecraftian in a sense with just
Yes.
how its intellect. Like Penelope said here, that 5th episode of Alien Earth is certainly like film worthy. That was probably my favorite episode of the whole franchise or the
Put
whole series
put
so
that
far.
eyeball in a Yautja, and
Oh
like
my
if that
god,
happens in an AVP film in the future, oh my, I would absolutely love that.
that's wild. That is absolutely bonkers. Um, all right. With this, in all reality, I am kind of indifferent about it entirely. I guess where I'm at, I am so happy with what we're getting out of both franchises right now. Like, admittedly, I've not finished Alien Earth yet, so I got to finish it. But it's one of those things where, at least like from the film side of things and with Killer of Killers, Prey, I'm so happy with like Predator and Alien right now that I just don't really love the idea of trying to find a way to work Ripley in right now. I really want to, I just kind of want to keep going. I just want to see where we go with this. It's like, I love Ellen Ripley. She's one of my favorite characters in all of cinema. But like, I just don't necessarily know if I want her. It's kind of like how I feel about Laurie Strode, right now, where it's like, I don't think I want to see her come back again. I think I'd rather see, if we're going to explore anything, like, let's have, you know, okay, so I see Brandon's bringing this up here. Yes, at this point, Alien 5 didn't happen. That's exactly where I was going to go with this. Is if we're going to do it, I really want to see, oh God, District 9 Elysium director Neil Blomkamp
Yes.
do his version. That's the only way I'd really want to see Ripley as of right now. Because even then, I'm not 100% crazy about them adding like Arnold and Danny Glover at the end of Killer of Killers. Like, I'm fine if we work our way up to that and they say they have a way to bring them in, then we can. But again, I just really want to see where we can go without having to drag along the already established characters from movies and movies ago. Like, this franchise has more in the gas tank than just hanging on to Ellen Ripley and Dutch and all these other great characters that I love, but we can do more.
I think, yeah, we can do more. I'm not against it, but I think at this point, there's so many great things. I did finish Alien Earth. I'm not crazy about every direction that they're going in potentially where they're going to go season 2 on that one, but I think overall it's a great story. It opens up some great lore. Alien Romulus, I was very pleased with. I like the concept there. I'm very excited for the sequel to that as well, where having Ellen Ripley back is not something I need. But if the story's good and I don't have any expectation of, who should direct, who should write, anything like that, if the script ends up being good and there's a justification to bring her back, I don't need it 100%. But if the story's good and it's not going to mess with anything that we got going on, and we're going to get some closure to her character, I'm fine with it. I'm not against it. I don't need it. Certainly don't need it. But I'm fine with bringing it back. And when you talk about Killer of Killers, seeing Arnie and Danny Glover, at the end of that, yeah, we don't need it. But there's been such a discourse online of, well, where's Dutch and what happened to Danny Glover at the end of Predator 2, and where's he at now? And it's like they found a vessel to bring them back organically with their age and being able to take advantage of that story to get some sort of closure. I'm fine with injecting them into some sort of story. I don't think, you could do Killer of Killers and do separate stories like that. I think, again, you're only going to get so much mileage out of going from period to period to period without it feeling exhausting, I think, to a certain extent. So, but you can still do that with Killer of Killers. You can even have Arnie and Danny Glover do their own thing in terms of
see
a
how they got
spin-off
abducted.
series. Yeah, and do a whole thing with them if that's the case you want to, to make. It's a variety pack. Again, I keep going back to a variety pack of the potential to both these franchises. You can really do anything. It's like it's not going to kill a current story that we have going on. You don't have to intertwine the two. They can be completely separate. So I don't need Ellen Ripley back, but if there's a case to be made with a good script that's intriguing enough to get some sort of closure with that character and just say, okay, we're done. No one's going to be asking to bring this character back because it's been such a fine send-off. I'm totally fine with that.
I agree with you guys, and I'm going to triple down on that too. I am pretty sick and tired. Well, sick of them just not letting certain characters die. Take Halo for example. Like, why do we have to keep Master Chief and Cortana going? Star Wars. Why do we have to keep like all these classic characters going? I feel like they're doing a great thing by exploring different stories and different characters and having us fall in love with different things. And I feel like that's great, man. They're really pushing the line there. It'd be really cool if, like, they weren't just like everybody else cashing in on that guaranteed, fan service, essentially.
Yeah, and there's a couple of good points here. Also, Adrian, you have been, I guess...
I thought I could get away with it, man. All right. I'll get another poster.
Hey, if you want to take her up, just reach out to her on Discord. You guys can link up. That'd be cool.
I won't say no.
Arnold and Danny would be easier to work with those. Yeah, and I think like because of how they set it up in Killer of Killers, the concept, I'm okay with it. But it's just like for me, it's just like my fear is that we're doing too much. So like Luke says, as long as it's a natural, like really well thought out, well written way of bringing our characters back, I'm fine with that. Like I would even be honestly curious about that if they wanted to do this, like what Davey said. Ripley would be a great as a Predator clone for hunting, because they have her already cloned. If they're really gonna tie in all the way up to what was that what was 4 called? Requiem? That was the AVP one.
Yeah.
What is Alien 4 called?
Resurrection.
Resurrection. Right? Really? No, it's not.
Is
Alien Resurrection. Oh my god, no, it's not. Is it really?
Yeah, I think that's where they're in space, but they also have a TV crew. I'm kidding.
Oh, you're son of a bitch. Yeah, it is. It is Resurrection. That's crazy. I always think of Halloween.
That's what I think. That's the one where Busta Rhymes takes on the.
You're getting the
giant xenomorph, isn't that it?
You're getting.
Am I getting my wires
crossed there, sir? But yeah, I think they have to. And then also, I do agree with Brandon here. Yes, I would love if they could bring in some of those characters, at least the two who survived at the end, into this. But I'd also want to see the Savage Predators return, or whatever they were called, the Berserker Predators. I want to see their little sect come back. I thought those were awesome. Like, I want to see them. They were savage as hell. I loved them.
I love Predators. What a fucking phenomenal film that is, in terms of just like I love the characters that they set up. What a great cast in general. It has those vibes of the original Predator itself. And I love the Berserker Predators when we show up in that little area and the one Yauch is tied up. And I'm like, oh, I'm so on board with this. I love Lawrence Fishburne's character there, kind of being just the psycho that's been out in this game.
Talking about all the seasons and stuff that he's been through.
I love it. It's so I want more of that lore. Like if we did something like a different season in that, I would love to see what that gaming preserve looks like.
I want them to keep that concept. I hope that Dan Trachtenberg, but like honestly, I'm surprised with what they've kept so far and what they've alluded to. I mean, like there's been a lot of love given to Predator 2 with like Prey and then with Killer of Killers. So it's like, I totally think he might do it. I could see him doing that because he doesn't seem like he wants to leave anything behind. And it's like, yeah, it's one of those for me. Where it's like, I think like it's totally possible to bring those characters back, or at least like allude to it. Like imagine a Killer of Killers episode with Lawrence Fishburne voicing his character, and we see him when he first gets there, and then having to survive all of those seasons, and it ends with that. That'd be so good. What a great segment that would be.
I would be so excited. There's so much potential. There's so much lore established in Predators. I'm surprised we didn't get anything after that. I mean, obviously it sets up with a new crew being dumped into that gaming preserve. I would have loved to have seen something and more Predators arrive. There was so much potential coming out of that one in 2010 that I wish we would have seen some sort of follow-up right afterward.
I don't know what people were smoking back then, man. It is what it is, you know.
Instant botch.
As far as the next Splatter Graves, we were supposed to do last week, but Alex had some things come up, so we are shooting for, I believe it's the
23rd?
21st.
First, whatever.
23rd is with Kyle. That's what we're doing with
There
that.
we go.
So next week, next Tuesday, should be the return. We're gonna do a big one. We are lining up. We've also it's admittedly, I don't know how much of this Evan even wants me to say, but we're lining up for a guest. It's a pretty big guest. It's pretty cool. Pretty excited about it. Somebody that I know you're all familiar with. So yeah, if that all pans out, it's going to be a pretty fun episode. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. So that is that. Well, I guess what else we got on the docket there, Luke? Because I know we have our segment Kill of the Week. Do you want to maybe jump into that first and then go into the last story or two?
Yeah, we can absolutely do that.
Okay. Awesome. So that also means that we have to announce that this week's Kill of the Week is sponsored. Yes, we are currently working with a pretty fun brand. They reached out to us. God, what was it like? Maybe like 2-3 months ago now.
I would say probably maybe 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, something like that.
Yeah. So like they're called Control. They are basically a like kind of like I guess you'd call them like a protein shake cookie snack company that is basically like wellness company geared towards streamers, gamers, people who are YouTubing all the time, who are online, basically giving you healthier alternative options to just your standard typical snacks and all that stuff. So I have integrated right now, we have our coupon. So we have this right here, if this little QR code next to me, if you guys want to scan that, take a look at what they have there. You will save 10% from us. So we wanted to announce that first on here because obviously you guys are very down with it. Snake oil, yes, absolutely.
That made me laugh. I love
Big Poo, yes, it's tied in with Big Poo. I love that.
Perfect.
But yeah, no, they're a really fun brand. I still have to get Luke his box of stuff, but I have had the breakfast shake with the cinnamon toast crunch, and I was skeptical. I'm not gonna lie, because I am not the biggest on breakfast these days. I'm admittedly very simple. I'm kind of a wake up and drink an energy drink kind of person. It's just years upon years of working in a warehouse has just conditioned me to that, and I haven't left it quite yet. But I had this over the last week. I got some almond milk. I put it in the shaker cup. I drink it, and it actually was very impressive. It's almost more like a milkshake kind of texture and consistency, rather than just like, a just kind of like soupy mess that I was expecting. I was pretty blown away by that. So
what's the grain factor on that, would you say? Is it mixed pretty well?
No, it mixed really well. And that's
Nice.
what I'm saying. Like I was even saying to our rep, Thomas, I was like, dude, I would love to take one of these and like mix it in with like actual like maybe if you got like yogurt or like frozen yogurt, kind of like what you'd have at like a smoothie. It's like if you mix that in there, I'm sure it'd make a bomb like milkshake type thing. Like it's really easy and it was really nice. Now, admittedly, because this will show you how honest I am and upfront with you, we got sent some cookies. I won't say which ones. I wasn't the biggest fan, but they are making up for it. They're sending us a new one, a new flavor. I think the protein cookies are kind of going to be a tougher sell for me personally. And unfortunately, Luke, who's usually more familiar with protein cookies because he's big gym rat, he's done a lot of stuff. Look at him, he's got his guns.
Pop the shirt off right now.
Unfortunately, they don't have any vegan options, so Luke can't participate. But I can vouch for the shakes. I think the shakes are really good, and so far, I'm excited to try more. And so far, they've been a really fun brand to work with, and I'm really happy that they're letting us pass on at least some kind of a discount with it. You know.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Portion.
Hopefully they get some plant-based stuff. I'd love that. I always love when brands do that. But I'm a big shaker guy. I know I haven't gotten mine yet, but they have very, very vibrant shakers, and that always catches my eye. So they have some real fancy ones in there. I was hoping to see if how those work, because sometimes you have leakage on them.
So far, mine's been great. I've used it 3 times, and like I've really enjoyed it. Just to show kind of what I was drinking here. I have this one. I'm excited to try it. Paradise Potion. This one I'm hoping can kind of be like my roundabout way of kind of cutting the energy drinks, because I honestly drink way too many of those and I need to stop. It is hurting my wallet and it is hurting my kidneys, so I need to stop that. I can feel it. But this is the one that I've tried. I can tell you guys so far, I really love it. I'm excited to make my little advert for it and talk about it in some of the videos. But yeah, I think this is great. Like, we're trying our best to hold to some kind of a standard, to not just like accept every brand deal that is thrown at us. Like, we've worked with NordVPN. We had a couple towards the beginning that were just like, kind of like the projector and stuff, which we still have. I still use mine. I like it. But like, we're trying to be more selective, and so far Control has been one of my favorites to work with so far. They're very cool, and I hope that if you guys like it, you guys start using them. We can pass more savings, more fun stuff off to you guys.
Yo, send me what Luke's not gonna consume.
I can do that. Yeah, especially if I come down to visit you here soon. I'll bring you some.
Yeah, let's go.
I want someone to snort some protein powder on the stream.
I literally will.
I don't care.
I've done worse for less.
Oh, perfect. Let's get real. Let's see what Adrian
rowdy with it.
You know what? Let's just do a stream, and it'll be like, let's see what Adrian will do.
Oh boy, this will be like
the more you tip, the more
Beast.
crazy stuff I'll do.
Guys, this is how we
get real dark real quick.
I want to see you murder him. 200,000.
Yep. Let's see. All right. Well, I hope you enjoy it, buddy. Have a good one. He's going to defend that franchise till the day he dies.
Without question. Hey,
respect.
I mean, they've got a small group of fans, all 5 of them. But
we liked Wolfman, so what are we going to do?
Yeah.
Anyway, sir.
We to judge.
You're right. Correct. Anyway, let's get right on into it. We'll get better at the ad reads, integrating them, all that. But we have this week a very, very special kill of the week. Luke, do you want to introduce it, or should I just throw it on?
I'll just throw it on. We'll surprise everyone here, and then we'll come back and chat about it.
All right. So this is this week's kill of the week, sponsored by Control.
Feeling hungry like a wolf, Evil Ed lets out his inner beast as he looks to sink his teeth into Peter Vincent. This late-night TV host ain't no one to fuck with as he plans to put a muzzle on this whole situation. Channeling Van Helsing, Evil Ed is shot through the heart and Mr. Vincent is to blame as Woofy takes a tumble. Delivering death to this hound of hell, Peter Vincent decides to admire his handiwork, but things get a little emotional as Ed transforms back into that lovable weirdo. Unfortunately for Evil Ed, there's more than one cure for this hair of the dog, and Peter Vincent lets this sleeping dog lie as he gets him a one-way ticket back to hell. Yes, sir. Of course, the classic, the wonderful, one of the best vampire stories ever Fright Night. And I'm a big Evil Ed fan. I think everyone's a big Evil Ed fan.
Oh yeah, I love Fright Night. I love this, and I love the remake. So admittedly, I like them both.
Same.
I think they're both very good.
I
I've
also
not
like
seen
Fright
2
Night Part
yet.
2. Oh,
I dig
need to.
most
We were
werewolf
supposed to.
concepts in general.
It was a great one. Yeah, and Davey's absolutely correct here. Great kill and transformation. The effects in that scene are so stand out. I always like forget how good they look until I watch the scene again, because like I've seen like screenshots of that design and that wolf, and I'm just like, oh, what is that from? Like I gotta check that out. I haven't seen that werewolf movie before, and then I'll quickly realize, oh no, it's Bright Night. It's like just really good. It's very brief, but it's memorable as hell.
I know. I wish they would have done something. There's werewolf in Part 2, but I wish they would have done something with Evil Ed as the werewolf in the original, and more so a werewolf rather than just a wolf, because that creature effect there just looks so great, and I would have loved to have seen a little more screen time, even if it's just like a henchman or something like that, just to give us a little extra, just because Fright Night's a great vampire flick, but then you tease that wonderful looking werewolf there, and we always talk about how there aren't enough great werewolf films. That could have been a lot of fun, or even if Part 2 was straight werewolf film, would have been interesting as well.
Oh yeah, I'm jumping from like different creature to creature, but keeping the Fright Night name. That's an interesting take there, Luke. I don't think I've ever heard anybody pitch something like that for Fright Night. That's pretty cool. You should make a video about that. But I love this movie. This is one that like I can't, Luke can't have credit for this one. No, I knew of this one. I had seen it on AMC, but I don't think I watched the whole thing. I think I got it like 15-20 minutes in when I was younger and loved it, but like hadn't revisited it in ages until I think it was during COVID when you like had me watch it again. And then we were supposed to cover Fright Night 2 eventually, as like a Halloween thing, I think a couple of Splatterthons ago. But like this is one of those movies that just like I totally understand why this is up there with like Lost Boys as like neck and neck for like everybody's favorite 80s vampire movie. Like something that just captures that era in like a jar, but like knocks it out of the park by making an interesting, memorable, and at times very unique vampire.
And Lost Boys as well as Fright Night, obviously two of the most iconic vampire flicks and two of my all-time favorite horror films. But it's like they have such a different vibe in a sense where like Lost Boys, you're dealing with a family that goes to a completely new setting, and it feels like a little less intimate, I guess, at times, just because they're trying to get adjusted. It's all foreign to them. Everyone that they're meeting is so different. But like what I love about Fright Night is the next door neighbors moving in, and it feels like almost like what we love about Goosebumps or Are You Afraid of the Dark, where it's your familiar settings and you think something's weird about the neighbor. And I like that aspect of it where you're just trying to prove that he's a vampire and no one's believing you. It's such an iconic concept. I think probably because of Fright Night that we've seen it retold so many different times. So I think, honestly, I know I've seen Fright Night early on, but I think I've seen things like Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark growing up prior to Fright Night. So I've seen these things of, oh, we're trying to prove they're a vampire and no one's believing this kid. And then being able to actually see Fright Night, and I'm like, this is the vibe that I strive for in a lot of vampire flicks. And I think it just kind of warms your heart a little bit because that's what you want out of a lot of these.
Vamp is also one that's very similar. I think like, there's something very special about this era of vampire movies. Because again, is it the early 90s or is it the late 80s for the best vampire movie ever?
Which one?
I forgot the title. I'm just, like I said, I'm a little under the weather, so I'm just like, I'm totally blanking on everything. God, no, it's the one we always talk about and love. With it was done by Catherine Bigelow.
Oh, Vampire in Brooklyn.
Near
that was
Dark.
mid-90s.
No, God. Near Dark. There we go. Is Near Dark?
That was 88.
88. Okay, then so yeah, it qualifies. Seriously, those three movies to me are like what I think of when I think of 80s vampire horror. Like those are the three movies that encapsulate that perfectly.
and three different kind of vampire flicks. They all give you different kind of vibes, and I think that's we talked about isolated horror at the beginning of the stream, where the variety of storytelling there, where these three vampire flicks, they don't feel the same. They cover different things. They make you feel different things as well when you're going to a lot of different characters. Some are more graphic than others, and really just shows you the potential of the vampire franchise. And I think that's probably we get into so many mundane vampire flicks, and we're trying to plug those in. The bar was set so high in the late '80s, mid to late '80s for vampire flicks that it's really hard to overcome that.
I hear the sentiment there, Penelope. I agree. It's definitely got some inspiration taken there, just the whole neighbor aspect, but then also just like, it encapsulating, I think, that very same kind of feeling that Fright Night has. And oddly enough, I would say Disturbia from the mid 2000s does a good job of that. That one has like that a little bit of that Rear Window added touch to it, but like again, very much just the creepy neighbor that we don't know necessarily if we can trust.
Absolutely. I was going to bring up Disturbia when I was talking about that kind of, just spying on your neighbors and feeling some sort of way about them. And Disturbia has that too. I don't think to the extent maybe Fright Night has, but it still has that same concept that you're in the comfort of your own home, but then you feel this threat outside, and I think, again, something we can all relate to is we're inside, and we talk about Cycle the Werewolf, and that scene in the book there where it's like you see the eyes from outside, and it's like this invader coming in, this interloper coming in and trying to wreak havoc on your home. I don't know, something very intriguing about that type of horror.
Oh, absolutely. Especially because like vampires have that added element of having to be invited in. So it's kind of like, you almost seal your own fate in a way. So I like it. I dig it. Let's see. I think that does it for Kill of the Week. So
well, we do have to pay tribute to
Evil Ed. That's right. My bad. I forgot about that last week too.
Yeah, no worries. We have a 10-second in memoriam for a buddy, Evil Ed.
Got to put some music in there.
I thought I did.
I thought it was a moment of silence.
Yeah, I was like, got to get some like funeral type big like orchestra music. Oh man. Alrighty. Well, Luke, I will let you take the pick here. I know one of these stories I want to talk about more than the other, but I'm just gonna let you spin the dice.
Which one do you want to talk about more than the other? I don't care.
I want to talk about this Corey Cunningham Halloween Ends stuff. Tell us about that.
Alrighty. Well, it had come out. Jamie Lee Curtis was doing an interview about the new book, Horror's New Wave, 15 Years of Blumhouse. And she had spoke a little bit about the original ending to Halloween Ends. It's titled Halloween Dies, and the initial script being that this was going to take place at a warehouse mask factory. And on the conveyor belt, we were going to see, obviously, a tribute to Halloween 3 and Silver Shamrock. We were going to see those iconic masks, the witch, the skull, the pumpkin, all being released on this conveyor belt. And then also the Michael Myers mask, kind of driving home that element of we are evil if we put on the mask. Eventually, they went against that, obviously, into something completely different. But being Jamie Lee Curtis had said that she thought that idea was a little too intellectual. Maybe people would not get the reference there being Halloween 3 and just different from seeing Michael Myers throughout those installments. But I don't know, Dylan, how do you feel about this? You seem that you really want to talk about it.
That's a very, very like limp-wristed kind of approach, in my opinion. I'm just like, are you serious? Like the Halloween 3 has done nothing but, like climb in popularity as years have gone on. I think like the wider community, especially the horror community, looks upon Halloween 3 very favorably these days. And I think if you look at the reception that the opening title sequence with the font got a loan from Halloween fans. I specifically remember tapping you on the shoulder and getting like geeky, you know, Halloween fan weirdo about it, being like, oh my God, it's the same font from Halloween 3. What do you think that means? Kind of thing. It's like, I think this is a total missed opportunity because you guys know how I feel. They lost me after 18. I thought Kills was good fun. I didn't give a shit what they did with it. I still thought no matter what it was never going to be what I was hoping it was. But I tell you, this would have been a way, way more intriguing entry than what Halloween Ends was.
You mean if they would have just switched the ending to it?
Oh, dude, absolutely. Like actually committing to that like fan theory kind of bit that like, you know, I'm not saying it's good, but I'm saying it's fun. It's way more fun than what I think we got than him just getting tossed in a wood chipper. I think like having that be at least somewhat of like a here's an explanation. Here's why the evil essence of Corey can be transferred. You know, it's like it would have at least been enough of a thread for us to kind of run with it as fans. I feel like we could have had a lot more like fun with that rather than just, you know, what we got.
I got you. You know, for me, I don't know necessarily if it works. There's a lot of issues with Halloween Ends in general, but I really dislike the ending to that. It just feels so abrupt. That whole third act just seems so awkward in terms of what we dealt with the entire film, and then we shoehorn in the conclusion of Jamie and Michael, and we kind of just. It's just like such a fine run. It's so quick in terms of the conclusion that we get this epic encounter. And I don't know. I don't know necessarily if I would have liked this either. When I didn't like the credits being Halloween 3. I think, you know, I think I even said it in a review. You don't get bonus points for referencing a film that tried to do something different and say, I'm doing something different. Halloween 3 gets the bonus points. They tried something different. It didn't work at the time, so they owned what it was. Whereas, like, I felt like David Gordon Green came in and was like, I don't know, this is probably not going to work for a lot of people, but I'm showing them it's my intent by these credits here, so I get a pass, right, guys? And I'm like, no, I don't think you do. It just doesn't really work. And I think even putting in more connective tissue for Halloween 3 to say, hey, guys, look, it's Silver Shamrock. Isn't that fun? I'd be like, no, this still doesn't work, and I don't like Halloween 3 being attached to Halloween Ends.
I don't argue with that. I don't argue that it's like, again, not a great idea, but I would have liked it. I would have had more fun with it. I would have loved to have seen the whole like at least acknowledgement of, you know, Silver Shamrock still being in the universe. And then in my mind, being an optimist here, which is very rare these days, I would have loved to have seen the fans go crazy about that and then see them actually pursue a sequel to Halloween 3 and actually see what we could do with that, doing kind of like this conspiracy lost, you know, buried, you know, almost like a cover up of this like awful tragedy that affected like, you know, a bunch of youths in the like mid United, like probably what was it like the mid, where was that last station? Do you remember that he couldn't get it to shut off where it was showing?
I can't remember offhand.
I want to say it was like in California where it's like they couldn't get it, but like I just want to see like how the world rationalize that, like how they covered it up, and then just really dive into the Silver Shamrock concept. I just think there's a lot you could play with there, and it's again one of my favorite, like not just like Halloween films, but just like horror films in general. I love the creativity of Halloween 3, and I think like anything that would have just maybe brought a little bit more oomph to it to maybe be getting something, I would have taken that over the wood chipper any day.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be hard to pick something better than a wood chipper. I would have liked to see that scene play out in something completely different, whether it's going to be a TV series or something like that. I would love to see Silver Shamrock get the nod in something if we're going to expand upon. I would love the idea of these masks being the story again and going that route with and telling a different kind of story than what we get other than just shoehorning Michael in there. Hey, if you want to do Michael Myers mask in the background or something like that, I'm for that as well. But I think just tying it in, I don't think I would have been any more pleased than I would have seeing the wood chipper, because I would just be like, okay, now he's just leaning on another franchise or another installment that has, getting some resurgence and some love that it didn't initially.
All right, well, whatever, Luke. Fine.
Whatever.
I don't give a fuck.
Listen,
Like, I
I'm
don't care.
explaining my stance here, Dylan. Don't take
No,
it personal.
if you don't want to have fun, if you just want to live in boring old Halloween Ends land. Also, that title way better. Halloween Dies or whatever.
Yeah.
I would have liked that way more. It would have been Halloween Kills, Halloween Dies. Like, I think that's all stupid still. Like, I hate that, but like, I think like, yeah, that would have been great. Like, at that point, just make Halloween 2018 Halloween Returns. I need to do another video on this trilogy, just like going over my thoughts and feelings and all my issues. I need to vent because like there's just so many little things that I'm like, we could have been great. We could have been contenders.
Yeah. It could have been a lot of fun. Just didn't pan out there, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I have this core memory of coming over to Luke's house one day. I think it was when we were shooting that one sycophant.
No, it wasn't Sycophant. It was
Meet
Mr. Atwood, right?
Mr. Atwood, yeah.
I remember I came over and you had the latest Halloween movie on TV, and I just remember watching it and just laughing at these hilarious kills, man.
Dude, the Desert Eagle kill in that movie is iconic. I want to talk about it in a brutal kill video so bad, but I know people are gonna just like freak out. Like, it's like I think that is hilarious, and I know where everybody hated that, but again, I was already like checked out on the trilogy as a whole after the first one. I was like, this isn't what I was hoping for. I'm nervous now, and the fact that I was at least enjoying myself with kills, I love that so much. It's just goofy enough for me to be like, hell yeah, like let's do it.
I'm right there with you.
It is what
I'm right there with you.
Okay.
It is what it is.
Let us see. Yeah, I don't believe you either. Oh, that's crazy. If you're just like popping up in on the Splatter Graves Tuesday streams, that's wild. Like, I'm mildly offended. I've enjoyed your company, and you don't watch any of our videos other than this. I'm gonna cry now.
These guys are stellar, dude.
No, they are amazing. Let's see. Do you want to just touch on the last story, and then I guess that'll probably wrap it up? And it's weird. We've gone like 2 months of having movies, so that it doesn't feel like the natural end of the show anymore to me. So it's like that's where I'm at.
No, yeah, we can finish this up. Let's see here. Last story is, of course, Return of the Living Dead gets a little bit of news. We got some casting news with Devon Sawa being added to the cast. Now, we did get a trailer last year saying that it was supposed to be Return of the Living Dead was supposed to be released Christmas of 2025, but looks like they're still casting, so we're not getting that anytime soon. Looks like production's going to be underway throughout winter. Go on, tell me more.
No, we're getting it. They promised. They said in the video, Christmas 2025. What? I don't see the confusion.
Apparently, they were referring to casting Devon Sawa. Is like that's
when they were going to announce it. They just did it early.
But they did a little tidbit of, I don't know. I didn't know too much about where they were going with this, but with the idea being that the news story takes place in a small Pennsylvania town over Christmas, and it's set in 1985. 18 months after the events of the original film. So I don't know, with things like Silent Night, Deadly Night getting rave reviews now, and we're seeing a resurgence in some of these older properties. Do you think Return of the Living Dead, could this be a win that we're longing to see after being really a dormant franchise for what?
God, I want it to be. I want it to be, but I don't think it's going to be.
I doubt it too. But I like this being the small town vibes, the 80s again. It could be interesting, but I don't know.
The whole zombie trend, zombies were huge for a while. It really has died down, over the last few years. I'd love to see it happen again.
I think that, like, you haven't seen Return of the Living Dead yet, have you, Adrian?
I don't think so.
I don't think you have, because this is unlike regular zombie movies. This is like, it has this like
I thought this put zombies on the map, man.
No, that's Night of the Living Dead. This is like, what do you call this, Luke? This is like a spin-off, kind of like its own thing. paying
Yeah.
homage to oddly enough, this is a horror comedy that Luke enjoys.
It's a fantastic film.
Mhm.
It's what I love about zombie flicks, to be honest. I think like it taps into just what I'm looking for. I saw the original very early on and I absolutely fell in love with it. And it's like the vibe that I want with a lot of zombie flicks, but it's really hard to nail that down. It's they got the perfect dosage down in that film. So it's really hard to see it have prominence like that again, but I don't know. I love Devon Sawa, so I'm excited to see him cast. I just don't know about this one. I'm very, very nervous about the quality of this film.
Yeah, and then I think the whole reason we never actually talked about this off air, but I kept meaning to bring it up was I'm pretty sure this movie, like shortly after they had the announcement, it got like caught up in some legal
Yeah, I had some legal issues.
bullshit because like I think it was
There's another one coming out.
that's
isn't
what
there,
I
supposedly?
thought. Yeah, there was supposed to be another one, but that one was it this one that has another returning cast member. Who is it?
Let me look.
Yeah, it's one of them. One of them has a returning cast member who's like shepherding that one, and then it's like causing issues with this one because of rights. So that's basically what I'm getting at. I think it's is it Linnea Quigley?
Let me look.
Somehow she's involved. I'm pretty
Yes,
sure.
yeah, I believe so. I believe that's
Mhm.
right. But it's not going to be called Return of the Living Dead. I don't think. Isn't it like someone's revenge or something like that?
It might be. That would be kind of so. It's a spin-off then. Is it Thrash Revenge?
Oh, I think that's what it is.
Because like yeah, that would be her character.
Trash's Revenge or something like that. I can't remember. Something like that.
Let's see. There was Spawn of the Living Dead, I guess, on here. I don't know. Point being,
Yeah, Trash's Revenge, Return of the Living Dead universe.
yeah, I don't know. I would love, in my heart of hearts, to be like, yes, let's do it. But again, these are very much at this point when it comes to stuff like this. I have to see who's in charge, who's shepherding the ship, who's doing all this. Because like I don't know. Like obviously with Silent Night, Deadly Night, I had faith that was going to work out. I love the director. I like the approach. And so far, the reviews, like you said, have been stellar. Like this is getting like the highest rating, I think, since like Terrifier 3, as far as the bloody, disgusting kind of like release to theater unrated things. Like this is doing way more traction than Toxic Avenger did, which is unfortunate for that one. But I don't know, man. I feel like we need to first really get familiar with like who's behind it, because I think aren't the directors of this, aren't they like they haven't like done anything?
No, correct. Yeah. I can't remember who the directors are offhand. I think
It's
if I click on
Steve
the
Walsh.
Okay, yeah. No, didn't ring a bell when I had the article up, so I don't think it's anyone that's going to be prominent or give us any sort of confidence in terms of or insight as to how quality it could be.
Oh, this is the guy who did Kill Her Goats.
I didn't see it. Did you?
No, I heard not great things about it though. I heard it was kind of cheap. So,
I like goats, but I don't like when they're killed, so I don't know.
Yeah, and did anybody see Kill Her Goats? Can anybody chime in on that one?
How many goats are killed as well?
What's going on, Legion? Welcome. Well, let's see what everybody's saying about this one. Hey, no clickbait in my list video thumbnails. I don't do that for those. I only clickbait for the reviews.
Respect.
Love it. You know, I'm just playing the game.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Man, I'm just trying to feed my family with these clickbait titles.
Beast of War is not even close to being as great as Jaws.
I was literally like, that's like one of the review quotes that's in the trailer. I was like, oh, fuck it. I'll just use that. I'm like, everybody else is doing that. It's like, we literally say in the review, I think up front, I think the first line I end with is like, it ain't no Jaws, but it's pretty good. Like, people just ain't watching these. Oh, here we go. Is the horror Spawn movie ever going to come out?
I don't know. I'm so upset.
Yeah,
we
were getting some movement on that for a while. It felt like, and and then now it's just also hit this.
Jamie Foxx was supposed to be attached, and then he had his medical issues, so I don't even know what's going on there. And I mean, there wasn't much movement on it prior to that anyway. I'd
Keith
love
David
to see.
still alive. He could do the voice.
I want to see John Leguizamo back as that fucking clown. He was great in that movie. The movie sucked, but
Why don't they? I'm literally just spitballing here. Why don't they do this animated, like a Killer of Killers style? Because they already had the show that was great.
Yeah.
So it's like,
I mean, I'll take anything Spawn related, to be honest. I love the cartoon. They released that on 4K, I think, just recently, which was that used to be really hard to come by. So I don't think it's as hard anymore. But I just want to see Spawn back in some capacity because I'm getting tired of this. Always getting news. They're clickbait articles. I mean, come on. When am I going to see some Spawn show up? But I don't know. It's been radio silent, I think, for a little bit. So
yeah. Stephanie, I can say you're going to get one at the end of the month. It is going to be either the week of Halloween. I don't think I'm going to drop it on Halloween. I still don't know exactly, but it is in that week. I got one I'm already cooking and prepping. So that one will have reactions in it. I promise. So yeah, that's really where I sit with this one. I need to see more. I think Devon Sawa is fun, but again, I love Devon Sawa, but I don't always love the projects that Devon Sawa is in. Notably, Hard Eyes, real big letdown for me this past year.
They didn't even make use of them.
And that's what I was gonna say. It's like he's hardly in it, so it's like, and it sucks when they do that because like I do love him a lot. It's certainly somebody that I think is underutilized. I think he could definitely bring some more. If you guys have not seen the movie Hunter x Hunter, that is one where I think he's excellent in it. So definitely a different kind of performance for him.
And I'm never gonna stop trying to pitch. If we're ever gonna do a sequel to a film, Idle Hands Part 2, where he's like an older guy, but now he's a slacker just with one hand. Come on, let's do it. I think we need that film, even though they're going to remaking it. Let's just get that sequel out.
Yeah, I see. I've upset some folks. I don't know. Hard Eyes just didn't work for me. I think I was looking for like something in the line of Thanksgiving, and I didn't anticipate that this was. And I think it's probably the marketing, and then also me anticipating that kind of movie. I didn't necessarily know that I was getting a romantic comedy with a little bit of slasher in it. Like that was kind of my big thing with it. Like I have no issue with romantic comedies. I'm just like, I really wanted this to be like in the same vein of like My Bloody Valentine or like I said, Thanksgiving.
Yeah, my gosh, I really want just another great Valentine's Day horror film, and I was hoping Hard Eyes was going to be that. So maybe I put too much stock into that one as well. It just did not click because I wanted something that was a little deeper in the slasher genre as well. I didn't really like the motive either. I don't think that necessarily worked as good as it could have. And of course, I wanted more Devon Sawa. So I thought we were just going to get this really fun, brutal Valentine's Day horror film, and it didn't really turn out to be that. I love the opening. I think that opening kill, that got me so excited for it. And it was just kind of after that, it was like, more romance and that element rather than getting really deep into the horror slasher Valentine's Day feel to it. But I don't know, maybe I have to revisit that one. I saw it at the theater and never went back and checked it out, but we'll see.
Yeah, to me that one I think Gracie's right on the money here. I like the rom-com parts of Hard Eyes, but the end really didn't work for me. I think the ending really did a number on that in my final thoughts and opinions. Because like I said, I can get over the rom-com part of it. I actually thought that was, at its core, I like the idea of doing like a Hallmark movie kind of, Valentine's Day movie with a slasher running through it. But I feel like the slasher was almost like we're going to throw this in right at the end. And I think that the whole twist and reveal is completely like that. Like it just screams we had no clue what we wanted to do with this. We just knew we wanted to have a slasher running around killing people.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. They wanted a Valentine's Day horror to be released, and I don't think it ever hit its full potential. But I will take Valentine's Day horror whenever I can get it. I don't think there's enough of it, so I'm hoping we get something else with that one. Or let's do another My Bloody Valentine. Come on.
Actually, KKS. I don't know how to decipher that. KAKS. I want to see the continuation of Prometheus and Covenant. I know that's not the most popular choice, but anyone else? I'm actually fine with that. I would love to see that wrap up, only out of pure curiosity. I don't want it to have any real bearing on the trajectory of the Alien franchise right now. That's my only problem. Knowing how studios are and how they interact with this stuff, it's like they're probably gonna want that to be a major player in their future movies if they did wrap it up here soon. But I think it's definitely something I'd like to see eventually. I don't necessarily give a shit about the alien part of it. I just want to see what happens with David and how that ends.
I'm not really losing sleep over it. I mean, like, if it happened, I'd see it, but I'm not, like, excited about it. Like Dylan, probably out of pure curiosity just to see where they take that story, but I'm not expecting another long-standing story in the Alien franchise that I'm going to love. I love Prometheus. I think Prometheus
Oh, I adore
great.
Prometheus.
Covenant just did not hit. I remember seeing that in the theater, and we had a couple rants the next day at the gym that we talked about that for the majority of our workout. And gosh, that one, even when I revisit it, still makes me a little angry. So I would see it, but it's not something that's at the top of my list when we're talking about the Alien lore and universe of where it could actually go.
Yeah, again, it's more curiosity as a fan, and more as a fan of Prometheus rather than just like wanting it to have any lasting effects. That's why I'm saying, like, if it was almost like we went into it with Ridley Scott and them saying this is self-contained, it's not working towards anything that they're doing now, but maybe it could be later, I'd be more open to that. But like, yeah, I don't necessarily know if that's ever going to happen. I know the scripts, or at least the bones of it, the concepts of a script were out there. I think it was called Alien Awakening is what it was called originally. So yeah, it was going to be kind of interesting.
They've got some concepts of a plan to be see if they
there you go, you got it.
Double down on that one.
Not to spoil Bone Lake too much, but it had similar thing going on with who the villain was, and I thought Bone Lake did it way better. That's good to hear. I do want to check that one out. I've heard a lot of good things
about it. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, at least the book to end with David's arc. Yeah, that would be good too. Like a book or something, like an audio book, or even like I know they did one with one of these franchises where they did like one of those like audio play things, like where they kind of just did like a play, but they just did all the sounds. I think Silver Bullet has one that is fan made that we covered in that podcast. That's really well done. I'm like, that's a whole new medium. I'd love to work and do.
Yeah, they did one with one of the unreleased scripts for Alien 3, where
I think that's what I was thinking of.
Okay, yeah. Michael Biehn and Lance Henriksen were in there, so it's really compelling stuff.
I get it. Alrighty. I might be the only one who likes Resurrection. Love Ripley. Ron Perlman is weird and bizarre. Freaking awesome. I don't care who hates it. No, I mean, Resurrection's it is what it is. I feel the exact same way
about
Resurrection.
I like the idea behind it.
I feel the same way about Alien Resurrection as I do Halloween Resurrection. They are okay, and I watch them because I watch the rest of the movies. I like ideas. I don't love all of it, but I definitely like the cast for Resurrection. I will admit that. Alien Resurrection. I will admit that. I think the cast is very strong.
I think so too. That was one that I think I'd seen growing up a lot just because it was on television. I think there's a Sega video game attached to that one as well. So it was so notable for me growing up with the Alien franchise just to see that one. And I like the concept behind it. I don't think it was pulled off to perfection, but I'll watch it occasionally. If it used to be on TV so much that I would just turn it on. It's like a nostalgia thing. So I can watch it, but typically I don't watch it unless I'm it's usually right after Alien 3 is when I'm going to watch that one.
Exactly. Yeah, it's kind of just like a bonus round. But I mean, like, you got Brad Dourif in there.
Yeah.
Which I love
him
a lot.
Great.
Raymond Cruz is in there. Most of you will know him from Breaking Bad if you don't. He's Tuco, I believe, right?
Yes, Tuco. Yep, and
That's
he's
right.
in
Tuco
Training Day.
Salamanca. Yeah, he is. Yeah, there's a ton of great people in there. I mean, Renata Ryder was in there. I liked her a lot. I really enjoy the cast. I just think like the movie has some really goofy, weird ideas, and I hate the ending. Like it's just really dumb. Yes, the water sequence, amazing. I love seeing xenomorphs swimming around in the water. Very cool, very deadly. Very, very scary shit. You guys know me. I hate the ocean. I hate water. No, I respect it. That's right. I gotta say I respect it in case I ever end up in the middle of it. Because then hopefully there'll be some karma there. Yes, Shelby Oaks. We've seen it. We've enjoyed it. We have a review up for it. Very, very excited. Yes, we are shills for Shelby Oaks. That's what it is. No, we're working on a piece for that too. That may be missing the release of it. I'm trying to line something up with a little somebody to make that happen. So, but obviously busy time for them. So we're gonna see what we can do. Maybe November, I might let the cat out on the bag on the whole Shelby Oaks thing I've been hiding. So we'll see. But yeah, guys, I think that's about it. I think that's the show today. Again, little off, little feeling a little weird because no movie reviews, but definitely lots of news, lots of fun stuff. You got to hear me bitch and whine about Predator movies for 45 minutes. I'm sure that was entertaining. Probably not.
You did the best with what you had.
It was the best W stream. Thank you.
But next week, Shudder is going to be doing the Chainsaw Awards.
You are correct. Thank you for remembering this.
Yeah, absolutely. So next week, we are going to be covering the Chainsaw Awards. So we're just going to turn that on. We did this a couple years ago when we first had the channel, and then I think we missed it last year. They switched the dates before it used to take place in beginning of
March.
spring.
Yeah.
Now it's October. So we're going to, this falls on 9 p.m. next week, right when we're doing the Sunday Scaries. So we're going to flip that on and wear your best dress there for the Chainsaw Awards. And we're going to be going through all the picks there and showing our personal picks as what we'd like to see win.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm excited for it. I really enjoyed the first time we did that. I honestly feel like that was the first time we actually experienced what like a real stream was going to be like. Because we had like 12 people in there at one point. And it was
random
like, oh,
people
man.
Yeah.
I mean, there are people who showed up in there who still watch our stuff, which is incredible. So it's like, it's fun. I'm excited to watch that with all you guys. I can't find the ballot sheets that they usually have. I went to like 3 articles and they didn't have links to it.
I just searched it earlier today and it was up there.
All right. Can you either send them to me or drop them in the Discord? Because I said I was going to put them in the Discord. So that way, if people wanted to get theirs and fill it out, because we're going to fill ours out. And I think before the actual, we might have to do, if it starts at 9, we might actually have to get on like 5-10 minutes early if we wanted to do like hey, here's what we'll go through our picks real quick and who's doing what. So that way we can kind of keep score.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a lot of fun. We did that the first time. So, yep. Oh, the Chainsaw Awards is a good time. It's Fangoria does it. They do a good job. They bring a lot of the usual faces. And yes, Violet did bring this up, but we went to this. Black Phone 2 is this week, guys. I've heard some good things. I've heard some meh things.
I've been talking about it with my coworkers. I'm definitely going to be checking it out.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it.
As long as there's a phone in it, I'm going to be
black.
There we go. Double down on that title.
I feel it. And thank you guys for the well wishes. Yeah, I definitely feel it coming on. So I will probably be a little hoarse in our Black Phone review if you can't hear it already. So that's going to be fun. Hopefully it doesn't last for the rest of October. So hell yeah. That's what we got, folks. But all righty. Well, I think that's going to wrap it up. So thank you all, of course, for checking in with us. We'll be back here again next week with another rendition of the Sunday Scaries, of course, with the Fangoria Chainsaw Awards. It's going to be changing it up a little bit. Maybe we'll see if we can get a guest for that. That could be fun. I'll see if any of the fellows want to hop on and talk about it with us. I'm sure we could get Evan or somebody. So, all righty. Well, other than that, you guys have a wonderful night. And remember, stay scared.
hardcore shit, gonna do it live. Cause Splattercast kick it every day they live.
Splattercast, gonna smash your ass. 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 Splattercast, gonna smash your ass.